Welcome back for the continuation of radiation resistance of a dipole antenna. Now we will proceed with the finding the power radiation. Already we have find the average power radiated by the antenna. We will see how much amount of power is being radiated by the antenna, which mainly describe the radiation resistance. Okay, that is power radiation by a half wave dipole antenna. Power radiation by a half wave dipole. Half wave dipole called as lambda by 2 antenna. And its radiation resistance. And its radiation that is power radiated by a half wave dipole antenna and its radiation resistance. Okay, so for the calculation of a total power radiated by a lambda by 2 dipole antenna and hence its radiation resistance can be found in the similar manner how we have calculated the radiation resistance in case of a small current element. Okay, that is by utilizing the Poynting vector method. That is by utilizing the Poynting vector method and by considering the elemental area of the spherical shell, that is complete spherical surface is being considered. There we have taken ds is equal to r square sin theta d theta. So here we will take the complete spherical surface, that is the 2 pi into r square sin theta into d theta. Okay, so the first thing what I have to discuss is by utilizing the Poynting vector method we can able to find the radiation resistance of a half wave dipole antenna. That is by utilizing the Poynting vector theorem. By utilizing the Poynting vector method we can able to calculate the radiation resistance of a lambda by 2 dipole antenna or half wave dipole antenna. And again we have considered that the elemental area of the spherical shell is given by already this also we have discussed while we have been taken that current element. Just see that one. Okay, ds is nothing but 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. Okay, so the total power radiated by a lambda by 2 antenna is given by the surface integral of the Poynting vector over any surrounding surface enclosing the surface. That surface we are taken as the spherical surface. Okay, generally we are taking the surface as a sphere or the hemisphere of radius r. So we'll write that also. That is the total power radiated from a lambda by 2 dipole antenna from a lambda by 2 antenna is given by the surface integral of the point vector of the point vector over any surrounding surface generally taken as the surface is taken as sphere. Generally surface is taken as sphere. Okay, that is taking the hemisphere of radius r, that also right. Taking the hemisphere of radius r. Okay, so sorry, so I have given the equation for the W, which is nothing but closed integral P average into ds, which is nothing but integral 0 to pi I, you know the equation for P average, that is 30 I square RMS divided by 30 I square RMS divided by pi r square into cos square pi by 2 cos theta, because it's whole square is not, divided by what you call as sin square theta into, that is ds, which is nothing but 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. So sin and sin theta will get cancelled, so we will have only one sin theta in there. Pi and pi get cancelled, r square and r square get cancelled. So I can write this as 2 into 30, that is 60, I can take outside. I square almost also I will take outside. Integral 0 to pi cos square pi by 2 cos theta divided by sin theta into d theta. Okay. Cos square pi by 2 cos theta into sin theta. So cos square pi by 2 into cos theta, I can write it 2 cos square theta. Okay, so that I can rewrite it as I can write it as, since 2 cos square theta equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta. Okay, 1 minute, I just verify that one. Sorry, just verify that one. Cos square pi by 2, that is cos square theta is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Yes, correct only. So I will write this as cos square theta is nothing but 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay, so that I will directly write it as W is nothing but 60 I square RMS integral 0 to pi 1 by 2 into 1 plus cos 2 theta. Theta is nothing but pi by 2 into cos theta. Okay, cos square theta. Cos square theta again 2 cos square theta is nothing but 1 plus cos 2 theta, or cos square theta is nothing but 1 plus cos 2 theta. So theta is nothing but this I will show you that one equation for that one. That is this term I will consider as theta. So cos square theta will be equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So theta, what is theta here? Theta is nothing but pi by 2 into cos theta. Is clear? Okay. Theta is nothing but pi by 2 into cos theta. This one. So I will take that one. Okay. I think it is clear for you. Sorry. One plus what is that word? Cos 1 plus cos 2 theta. 2 into pi by 2 into cos theta. So 2 and 2 get pi, 2 into pi by 2. I will write that one. That is clear for you. Cos 2 into pi by 2 cos theta by sin theta into d theta. Okay. That changes to W 60 I square RMS into integral 0 to pi 1 by 2 1 plus cos 2 and 2 get cancelled, pi cos pi cos theta divided by sin theta into d theta. Okay. So this term, this whole term I will consider as I. So I will take W is nothing but 60 I square RMS into I. Okay. So now, so this I you can calculate, that is I, where I write is where I is nothing but integral 0 to pi 1 by 2 1 plus cos pi cos theta divided by sin theta into d theta. Okay. So this is the equation for I, or otherwise I can take 1 by 2 I would say, that is I is nothing but 1 by 2 in the 0 to pi 1 plus cos pi cos theta divided by sin theta into d theta. Okay. This is the integral of a special type. So this I, or this term, is the integral of a special type, and it is quite involved and can be able to calculate by using the analytical method. Okay. That means I will write directly the values for this one, and there is no need for calculating this one. If you want, I will derive this one and I will give it to you, but it is not important for that session because again the equation, the derivation will be lengthier. So you can directly write the equation, write the values for I, that is 1.219. So otherwise you can derive this equation for I. Ultimately you will get taking the Bessel function and all those things, you will get what you call as the values of I finally. If you want, I will do it separately how it is getting the values of I. Okay. So this can be evaluated analytically. This can be evaluated analytical. Okay. If you want, you can. I will write that values. Okay. No need for that one. Directly you can write the values of I. Sorry. So hence hence the first term, that is of the what you call as sorry or that term, that is I equal to 1 by 2 sin 0 to pi 1 plus cos pi theta, pi into cos theta into sin theta into d theta can be evaluated analytically or numerical method or graphical method or any type, or by using the trapezoidal that I will write by analytical method or by trapezoidal rule, etc. Trapezoidal rule, sorry, rule, etc. Okay. So finally you will get the values of phi as nothing but 1.219. Okay, I will just put this equation in that our normal equation for total power. So the total power radiated by a lambda by 2 antenna is given as is W is nothing but 60 I square RMS into I, which is nothing but 60 I square into 1.219. I square RMS is nothing but that you know or WR is nothing but I square RMS into RR, or W is equal to I square RMS into RR. So what is RR? W is nothing but 60 I square RMS into 1.219 is nothing but I square RMS into RR. So I square RMS and I square RMS get cancelled. So RR is nothing but 73.14, or which is nearly equal to 73. Okay, so this is the radiation resistance or the total power that is being radiated from by the what you call as your lambda by 2 dipole antenna or half-wave dipole antenna. Okay, especially for total power, that is the total power radiated by the half-wave dipole antenna in free space. So this is the radiation resistance of the or the radiation resistance of a center fed half-wave dipole antenna is nothing but 73.10 or approximately 73 ohm. So the radiation resistance of a center fed half-wave dipole, because center fed in the sense we are giving the source at the center. Okay, that is why a center fed half-wave dipole, or simply I can call this as dipole antenna. Sorry, or simply dipole antenna is 73.14 or approximately 73 ohm. Or approximately 73 ohm. Clear? So this is the what you call as a derivation, the lengthy derivation for half-wave dipole antenna. Okay, So we can have a conclusion that is this is half-wave dipole antenna. For a quarter wave monopole antenna, the radiation resistance will be half of this half-wave dipole antenna, that is 36.57. That also I will write. That is for a, that is quarter wave, otherwise we can call it as a monopole antenna. Quarter wave monopole antenna, the radiation resistance is half of the dipole antenna, half of the dipole radiation resistance, half of the dipole radiation resistance, that is 73.14 by 2 or 36.57 ohm. Okay. So normal, in practical case, this value will be ranging from 60 to, I will write here also, practically the value of radiation resistance will be ranging from 60 to 90 ohm. Okay, 60 to 90 ohm, 60 ohm to 90 ohm. Just write that one. 60 ohm to 90 ohm. In between that only you will get in practical case. This 73 ohm is only for theoretical conditions. Okay, so just keep it in a box. This is important. Okay, for any practical application, the radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna will be between 60 to 90 ohm. Generally, it will be 73 ohm. Okay, whereas in case of monopole antenna, it is half of that one, which is nothing but 36.57. But the radiation resistance of the what you call as your monopole antenna will be in the hemispherical direction. Okay, in practice, radiation resistance is in general you can write radiation resistance is a function of height above the ground, and the 73 ohm will be a tendency to come down, and generally it may range anything between 0 to 90 ohm. That is why I call the practical case is nothing but 60 to 90 ohm. Okay. So this is something regarding the radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna. Till here you are having that means the derivation portion is being completed. That is the analytical case in case of antenna in the second module is being completed here. Now some small topic is there, just like the measurement of antenna, just like measuring the what you call as S parameter, gain, directivity, impedance, and all those things. Okay, so that is only theoretical case only. In actual practice, you should design the antenna and you should be able to measure it using the VNA, that is vector network analyzer. That cannot be shown through this teaching, because we had to take you to the lab, and then only we can show the things how we are measuring the antenna parameters and all. That is there in your communication lab. Some small kit is there for measuring the antenna parameters. Yeah, I think that practical case you will be doing it in your S7 with the microwave laboratory, in the microwave laboratory. Okay, so I will just teach it that with some block diagram and all those things, how we can able to measure the antenna parameters. Okay, this is very important. This radiation resistance of half-wave dipole antenna is very important, as well as not only in your what you call as in your examination point of view, but in a general that is in a public examination also, just like in some ISRO or some other PSU examination also, they used to ask this question: what is the radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna? They will give you some choices: 73 ohm, 36.5 ohm, some 197 ohm, something like that. Okay, so you should keep in mind that radiation resistance of a half-wave dipole antenna is very important, because this half-wave dipole antenna is being normally utilized for making some other antenna or complex antenna. So the knowledge of half-wave dipole antenna is very important. So I had described here with three videos, including this radiation resistance. In the first video up to AZ. In the next video we have calculated the average pointing, that is the power radiated by the half-wave dipole antenna along with the average Poynting vector. In this video we have calculated the radiation resistance by utilizing the total power radiated by the half-wave dipole antenna, and it is nothing but 73 ohm. I think I will stop here and I will continue with the measurement of antenna in the next video lecture. Thank you.